There has been so much conversation surrounding the officiating in this physical series, and I think some people in the comments may have misread what I was actually saying. My comments were specifically about the discourse around the play on Wembanyama. I am fully aware that Brunson was holding and that other questionable things happened throughout the game, but my focus was really on the broader conversation that was taking place last night, not a blanket criticism of every call made. Because here is the real reason the Knicks lost Game 3, and this clip is going to show it clearly. Uncharacteristic turnovers. Mikal Bridges turning the ball over, Josh Hart turning the ball over right out of the gate. Those early mistakes set the entire tone of the game before it even had a chance to develop properly. And you have to understand the mindset San Antonio came in with. The Spurs are playing with complete freedom right now. Nobody genuinely expected them to be in this position, which means they can play loose, play fearless, and play without the weight of expectation pressing down on them. On top of that, they are too young and too confident to believe they cannot win this series. They look at their roster and see Wembanyama, arguably the most talented player in the entire league, alongside young stars like Dylan Harper and Stephen Castle, who can attack the paint and control the pace of play. That belief is dangerous. But these turnovers cannot continue. They have to be cleaned up immediately, and OG Anunoby spoke on it directly after the game.
Talked about the turnovers yesterday, and we know there were a lot of distractions around this game. Do you think that played a factor in maybe you guys have something to clean up?
Yeah, I don't know about the other stuff, but I mean, yeah, we were making turnovers that was uncharacteristic of us, just being sloppy with the ball, not being on the same page. Throughout the course of a game, stuff like that happens. So we're going to try to clean it up. We already watched film. We're going to keep watching film and try to fix those mistakes from happening again.
I completely agree with OG Anunoby. And honestly, that is exactly the approach the Knicks need to bring into Game 4. Meet the Spurs at their level physically. Come out and match that intensity from the opening tip. Make the referees have to blow the whistle on every single play if that is what it takes. Because when you establish that physicality early, you send a direct message, not just to the Spurs, but to the officials as well, forcing them to get control of the game in a way that levels the playing field for both sides. Now, shifting over, Cammy responded to what Shaq and Charles Barkley had to say on the broadcast last night. Those two got into a pretty heated back and forth over the Wembanyama play, and it is worth seeing how that conversation unfolded. Let's check it out.
But listen. This is what you want to see if you're a big man. I like that move right there. You got to let those little munchkins know, hey, man,
come on, man. You can't do that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
No,
Get your little ass off. Yes, you can.
No, you can't do that.
Ernie, listen to me.
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
From a guy that's won multiple championships, some people want to win by tactics. Some people want to win by killing you.
You don't probably play
you
dirty.
keep doing it. That ain't no dirty play. Get your little ass out the way.
No, you don't.
I'm not winning by tactics, Ernie. I'm busting your ass.
No,
Thank you, Wemby.
You can't go out there doing that.
Yes, you can. He did it. He did it.
And you know what Wemby gonna do?
He
Get his ass swept by Wednesday night.
That's all right, though. You play with heart and you play with energy.
That's how the Knicks are going to have to look at this, because at the end of the day, my personal opinion, no information, just me as the quote-unquote conspiracy theorist, which I'm really not. Spurs are going to, the calls to me are going to go in the Spurs' favor as long as the Knicks are winning the series. They want this thing to go on a little longer. So I think it was a discrepancy, but I cannot lie. That play that Mason's talking about, I'm sitting there like, God damn, they fucked him up. And he still made the shot. They still didn't call. So it's plays like that as well. I don't know if you've seen this as well at all also, when the nigga Wemby just mushed Jalen Brunson all in the face.
To the floor.
That was crazy. They ain't even call that. And I seen the halftime of Charles Barkley like, you can't do that. Shaq was like, yes, you can. Yeah, he did it. Yes, he like all that. So I'm with all that too. I'm with all that. I'm just telling you, I'm with all that. So
crazy to see.
I can only imagine how tall people feel. Like when people are constantly smacking your arms and feeling like, yo, I ain't even do nothing to him. Yes, you did. You smacked him like 8 times. And he just, when he responds, it looks so brutal. It's like, why did he do that? Tell him to do it again.
Couldn't help himself. You don't even know.
Now, the free throw discrepancy has been a hot topic across these first 3 games, and I understand why. But what I want to focus on is something the Knicks need to address tactically going into Game 4. They probably need to let Mikal Bridges bring the ball up the court more consistently. Stop burning all of Brunson's energy before he even crosses half court. Because what San Antonio is doing defensively is sending Harper and Castle to dig into Brunson right at half court, making him use every single move in his arsenal just to create a sliver of separation. By the time he gets anything going, there are only 8 or 10 seconds left on the shot clock. That is not sustainable basketball. I have noticed Brunson tends to do a lot of his work right around that half-court line. If he would simply give the ball up earlier, use a screener in the backcourt, and let Bridges or someone else bring it up, he could conserve his energy for when it truly matters, late in the game. Make the Spurs expend their defensive energy all game long, so when they try to press late, Brunson is fresh and they are running on fumes. Because when he gets worn down early, we start seeing him retreat into that isolation ball that showed up during the Atlanta series. Before that, the Knicks were doing a much better job of getting Karl-Anthony Towns the ball at the top and letting him be the decision maker. Towns looked a little tentative in Game 3, though. There were open threes from the wing early that he passed up and really should have taken. I think the early turnovers rattled the entire team, and that hesitation was a direct result. Now, Dylan Harper is a completely different conversation. That young man is getting into the paint easier than anyone else in this entire series. Nobody has a real answer for him. He finishes with both hands equally well, he absorbs contact, and he keeps converting. The only player who has given him any consistent trouble is OG Anunoby, and OG does it through pure timing and instincts, waiting for Harper to commit to the layup and then rising late to meet him at the backboard. But anyone else standing between Harper and the rim is having a very difficult night. Wemby was an absolute force in Game 3. Those first 3 dunks set the tone immediately, and the fact that he was not launching 9 threes like in previous games made him so much harder to deal with. When Wemby stays in the paint and uses his size to disrupt everything around the basket, it changes the entire dynamic of the game. Even that late offensive rebound where Towns picked up a foul, that happened purely because Wemby was making an effort around the glass, and his presence alone created the problem. When he commits to being a paint presence, he becomes nearly unguardable. I also noticed that when Wemby rolled to the basket in Game 3, there was nobody meeting him the way the Knicks did early in the series. The Knicks have to bring that physicality back, and they have to bring it early. On that note, if Towns does not have his offensive game going and the Knicks are nowhere near the penalty early, I would seriously consider bringing Mitchell Robinson off the bench sooner than usual. Mitch gives you consistent effort on the glass and will guard Wemby with more reliability than Towns will when Towns is cold offensively. Towns' defensive engagement tends to fluctuate based on how his offensive rhythm is going. Robinson is going to give you that physical presence regardless. Use him to meet Harper at the rim, meet Castle at the rim, and play the foul game strategically. If the Spurs start pushing toward the penalty with Mitch in there, you pull him back out. It's almost worth considering starting him, depending on how the matchups look. If you're in San Antonio, the formula is simple. Keep getting 2 feet in the paint. Castle is finishing through contact, Harper is finishing through contact. Wembanyama dominated both ends of the floor last night and completely dictated what happened inside. And Brunson continues to struggle against what is proven to be one of the most disruptive defensive backcourts in the league. Castle and Harper together are genuinely special, and the fact that both are still on rookie contracts makes what this Spurs organization has built over the last few years truly remarkable. Houston Rockets fans have to be sick watching this series, knowing they could have had Castle alongside Amen Thompson and instead selected Reed Shepherd, but that's a conversation for another day. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.